What's up? Tyler from Plugged On. I'm here with an album review. This time I'm going to talk about the new album from Knocked Loose titled A Different Shade of Blue. This came out August 23rd on Pure Noise Records. This is follow-up to their 2016 debut, Laugh Tracks. So it is their second album. And if you don't know Knocked Loose, they are a hardcore band, you could say, from Kentucky. And I feel like they've really been taking the musical world by storm over the past few years and have grown very much in popularity and in catching my attention. And I like, I would say I was a lot more into hardcore 5-6 years ago than I am now. There's bands that I certainly enjoy, albums that I certainly enjoy, but it's not my go-to sort of genre. But man, I cannot get enough of this band since I got into them probably beginning of the year, when I really sat down and said, I've heard a lot about Knocked Loose. I'm going to listen to their debut album, Laugh Tracks, and I was blown away. I'm like, this is excellent. So very much looking forward to their new album here, and to me it doesn't disappoint at all. And I think just about every song on this record is amazing. I think it takes what they did on their first album into a great direction. It has the perfect production to it as well. I think just the whole thing hits hard, and I think the thing is about Knocked Loose is that they just do not give a flying fuck about what you think of them. They are going to just obliterate your face the whole time. And when a lot of bands might start heavy and then maybe go more melodic or more radio friendly. You see that a lot in the metalcore world, whereas Knocked Loose, it's only their second album. They've only been around for a few years. I just feel like I can't see them doing anything like that. They just fucking go to town, and it's one, real heavy, chunky section after just a really fast riff to a totally disgusting sort of meltdown scenario. So, yeah, when I was in a band, one of our friends' bands, they used to do some of the things that Knocked Loose does here, where they really slow it down. It's just disgusting guitars that just are not ear-pleasing, to be honest with you, but it's just so heavy and aggressive that it feels good, and we used to call that the meltdown instead of the breakdown. But yeah, I love that a band like Knocked Loose is just getting so much popularity, just because they just feel very pure, very raw, and it's awesome. And to be honest with you, it reminds me, in this album specifically, just gives me kind of some flashbacks 2 years ago to Power Trip releasing Nightmare Logic. I know they're more of a thrash metal band, but it's just like they're not reinventing the wheel. They're just completely destroying the fucking wheel and just doing their own thing. Even if it's not like, oh my god, I've never heard this sort of thing for this genre, it's just like, here we are fucking good at what we do, and we're going to melt your faces off. It's awesome. So getting into the album, my opening track, Belleville, is amazing, and really just catchy guitar work. It's got that just Knocked Loose aggressive chunkiness to it that I just absolutely love. But then they get into there's so many just bang your head moments on this album, and the middle section of this track is one of the best examples of it. That middle section is absolutely amazing. Trapped in the Grasp of a Memory, I think, is one of my favorite songs on the album. If I was to pick some that I like more than others, I just think that song overall is just really put together very well. It's got a little bit of everything, and I love how it starts off with like the four beat on the snare drum, like a fucking death metal song, but then it just really hits you in the face. But even then later on, my favorite part is, when they're saying trapped in the grasp of a memory, and the guitar is just in the background like dun dun dun. It's like super fucking chunky. It's like, yeah, let's go, boy. And then it gets heavy, and it's just, oh man, the whole thing's just amazing. A Serpent's Touch, By the Grave, In the Walls. I think these songs are really good back to back. A Serpent's Touch has some fucking very amazing moments in it. By the Grave's really good. I think that's a great song vocally for Brian. And it's just there's so many moments on here where it's just like, let's fucking go. Like you feel the energy in the heaviness, and it gets you fired up, and you know you're listening to something just really really good when that can happen to you. I mean, there's not all music is supposed to do that, you know. Music fills you with different emotions, but to me, when I feel something like that with an album, it's just it's almost indescribable. Like every time, every one of these songs, I'm just about, there's something that makes me go like, yes, I'm enjoying this, whether it's the heavy breakdown or the Brian's just feeling like he's popping out of the screen, he's about to grab you by your shirt and he's screaming in your face. It's awesome. Mistakes Like Fractures, and Still I Wander South, two of the singles that they released ahead of time, I think are absolutely excellent. Mistake Like Fractures has some really great riffage. I love the way that song starts. I love the way that when the whole band busts in, it sounds fucking amazing. And I Still Wander South is another one that really gets me fired up. I think when it comes to just overall catchiness, this might be one of my favorite ones on the record, and I absolutely love the ending section when it just slows down and it's just so heavy, so chunky. It's awesome. And then Misguided Son, I think, is a great way to close out the album. I think that's a very catchy song vocally. It's just, this band just they've killed it with this album to me. I cannot stop listening to this album, and I truly mean that when I say it. There's so many albums out right now. It's an amazing time for music, and it, to the point where it's like it's hard to even keep up with things that I'm interested in listening to, but I constantly just keep coming back to this album. Like, nothing is grabbing me right now except really this album. I mean, there's a few others, but this album, I don't know, just something about it that I thoroughly enjoy. So let me know what you think of A Different Shade of Blue by Knocked Loose. Give this a 9.5 out of 10. Absolutely one of my favorite records of the year. Let me know what you think. See you later.